Welcome to Kitchen Table Tangles. I'm Rick.
Hi, and I'm Maria. And I was feeling a little Mollygonical this morning. And I thought we would play with one of my favorites, Mollygon. So we're working on a Zendala, a white Zendala. And that first shape is sort of like a quarter moon. I would say about a quarter moon.
And even more importantly, the entire tangle is just a curve. So we're just doing curves and for the whole tangle.
So one of the real important parts about Mollygon is the spacing between the moons. And so what you can see is that I'm actually going really slow when I'm auraing that section there, and it goes a little bit past halfway. You can see it, and then I go back, and then I just sort of bounce around. Then I'm not so careful. I can be a little more flamboyant, a little more charismatic with that other stroke. And so I come around, and then wham! So sometimes they get a little bigger, sometimes they get a little smaller, but you can see I'm sort of caressing that,
Yeah, and maintaining the consistency of that gap is what's going to make the whole piece hold together. Is that it's sort of like when you have Oreo cookies, the white stuff is always the same thickness. So in
Right.
here you got the gap that way.
So I love it when the Mollygon ends up to be a shape that I wasn't expecting, because then it starts creating these really cool meta shapes that's fun to fill. We're going to have some fun doing this. We're going to keep it simple. You could actually do a whole bunch of different fills, but we're going to keep going here, adding a little more. So now we're going to go to one of these half sections here and start another whole set of Mollygons. Here we go, right back again.
So if you go to our newsletter section on the website and just search for Molygon, you will see some pictures of these shells that after we had designed this tangle, we went to the beach and there were all of these boat shells that like glom onto each other and it looked just like Molygon. It's the coolest thing because a lot of times we'll see patterns in nature that inspire the tangle, but this was the first time we had gone and designed a tangle and then
Found it in nature.
found it
Yeah.
in nature. Yeah, so it was pretty sweet. But there's some fun pictures there too.
So take your time on this, especially at the beginning. I know some people were a little challenged by getting their spacing, but if you watch me long enough, you'll do it automatically. I see how they're getting tinier and tinier. It almost looks like a lobster tail. How cool is that?
And I think one of the keys is to do the part that is auraing the previous Molygon first. And that's a really great thing. And the other you'll notice is that Maria is turning her tile almost on every one, finding that really comfortable place for the hand and then putting each piece in. So now switch to a brown pen.
So I'm going to aura all of these and put in some, it looks like a perk. They'll end up looking like perk, but because we're in these beautiful shapes, they're going to end up looking like a Cheshire cat smile. Look
Right.
see it right there? He's smiling.
True that.
So it's sort of a happy tangle. I always think after it's all done that Mollygon has sort of a real bright, fun shape, fun look, and unexpected. Once it's all done, you sort of wonder how it was done, but now you can see how simple it was. So I'm putting in all of those perk shapes, the circles, the orbs within the smile. And then as I'm doing it, I'm filling in the little corners. Can you see it? I'm putting in some little weights between the orbs where there's a space.
So it's just a nice little touch of light and dark there. Just adds a bit.
So it's starting to look really cool.
And again, this is one of those shapes that you would never have been, or completed tangles that you can't predict where it's going to go. You sort of get started and then follow where it leads.
So this was fun. I love doing this.
And it's neat because once you have that plan, okay, I'm going to do this inside each one. You get to go on this, just really focusing and not having to think about what you're going to do next. Just really enjoy that stroke.
So we're doing this as a monotangle just so that we can, show you how this is done. But now I'm going to go back in with my pencil, and I'm going to do some extensive shading. I know that most people think that shading is a quick thing done at the end, but you can really kind of get into it. So we're going to spend some time shading this and giving you some ideas of where you put your graphite down. And I seem to be heavy-handed when I'm shading, but you can do it the way you see fit.
And also, as you shade it, you will get other inspiration of, okay, well, now I've done this. Well, now I want to do that. And
So I should go back, but those first circular pieces I did, it's where they all come together. It's where they spiral out from. So you'll end up getting a tufted look after that's done. So now I'm going in and putting some graphite in each one of the little Molygons.
so, got to tell you a quick story
Okay.
of the name of the tangle. We were working on this, and I think Maria had been putting this all together, and she was
A lot of examples.
different. It's fun to see how it all comes together. But anyways, what are we going to name this? And she's thinking that, this is like a two-sided polygon. What are we going to call it? It's the world's first two-sided polygon. I'll tell you about that later. But anyways, so she and Martha and Molly are downstairs, I thought, and then I come running downstairs and I burst into the kitchen and I look, and Molly's not there, and I go, "Molygon?" And Martha says, "That's it." And so that's how it became the name of the tangle.
That's our technical way of naming tangles.
So anyway, somebody later said that actually there is a term for this shape, which I forget what it is, but it's when you have two straight lines on a sphere, it forms this shape. So there really is a two-sided polygon.
I thought I had invented it, and I thought all of these math professors and geometry wizards were going to call me up and tell me what a great job I did.
But there you go.
There you go.
But you'll see how going back in and working, okay, so that's calling for a little bit more there, and going back and forth with that just absolutely magical tortillon that not only smooths the graphite out, but it sort of embeds it into the fibers of this beautiful paper.
You can tell I'm not afraid to get my fingers dirty, because I tend to use the tortillon and then afterwards sort of just give it a little loving little rub there, huh?
But look at that. It's got real dimensionality now.
You can have fun with this, I can tell. I can't wait to see all the new Molygons coming out. So I'm just going to give it my little chop and have some fun with that.
I like this. It looks like a balloon floating away with the M.
With the M fall, caught unaware.
Yeah. But this is a great example of those deliberate strokes and just really enjoying each one you make. Fun. So even after you're done, a lot of times you'll look at it, and so here Maria's going just back in some of those shaded areas,
Retouching it.
redefine the line there. Sometimes the fibers get torn a little bit, and
So I was just giving it some drama. Sometimes in the cracks there, yeah, you want it to be a little darker.
so thanks for hanging out, and enjoy, and we'll see you soon.
Go Molygoning.
Bye-bye.
Bye.